Ruth Gadé, Hamburg, request from journalist Torsten Engelbrecht to the Public Prosecutor's Office the 17th of March 2025. Torsten Engelbrecht is a journalist and also an author of books on medical and health topics, including the book Virus Mania with Dr. Claus Köhnlein and two other co-authors. He learned that the Public Prosecutor's Office had lodged an appeal in my case. He then made a written inquiry as to how this was justified and wanted to know how many of these mask proceedings the Public Prosecutor's Office in Hamburg was still pursuing. Here I read his translated mail text. Hello, Ms Sperling-Karstens. My name is Torsten Engelbrecht and I'm a journalist in Hamburg. I have been informed that the Public Prosecutor's Office intends to appeal in the mass trial against Ruth Gadé, case number 618 CS 27/24. Allow me to ask you the following questions. There is now a scientific consensus that there is no evidence that compulsory masks make sense, but there is evidence that they are potentially harmful. Even someone like Anthony Fauci, when asked by Republican Congressman Michael Cloud on the 3rd of June 2024 at a meeting of the Select Committee on the Coronavirus Pandemic of the US House of Representatives, could not name any studies that could have proven the usefulness of the mask requirement. A study published in the journal Annals of Internal Medicine at the end of 2020 also found no statistically significant benefit of wearing a face mask. And on the 5th of July 2022, the Berliner Zeitung concluded that the mask requirement is unconstitutional, partly because even the report published on the 1st of July 2022 by the federal government's expert committee on the evaluation of the measures states on page 99 that randomized clinical studies on the effectiveness of masks are lacking. At the same time, a meta-study on masks published in April 2021, for example, shows that masks can cause massive damage on a psychological, social, and physical level. So if the mask requirement has no scientific basis, then neither doctors nor patients should have been embarrassed to issue mask certificates or have them issued. So why is Ms Gadé still being prosecuted? And in view of the scientific facts, wouldn't it make sense to hold those politically responsible legally accountable? If not, why not? The background to the proceedings against Ms Gadé is that she was checked by the police at a meeting because she was not wearing a mask. However, she was not only standing outside the actual protest rally. In 2023, a court in Düsseldorf also declared the control of masks at the stations at an assembly to be unlawful. See, according to lawyer Dirk Sattelmeier, the court thus followed the opinion of the Federal Constitutional Court, according to which one may not go to an assembly and take measures there under general police and public order law. Why did the Public Prosecutor's Office not take this aspect into account? Judge Holstein acquitted Ms Gadé in the first instance on the grounds that it had not been possible to sufficiently determine whether a medical examination took place. In the opinion of the Public Prosecutor's Office, what legally valid criteria can be used to reliably determine whether a doctor has sufficiently examined his/her patient in order to be able to describe the issuing of a mask certificate as reliable? And is there, in the opinion of the Public Prosecutor's Office, a legally valid minimum time? In the answers of the Hamburg Senate to a question that the politician Anna von Treuenfels, then still Free Democratic Party, made at my request in 2021, it says, The issuing of certificates, and thus also the decision on the indications on which the certificate is based, are the responsibility of the issuing doctors. To what extent, then, can someone like Ms Gadé be held legally responsible for having accepted and used the certificate? And doesn't this alone invalidate the public prosecutor's intention to convict Ms Gadé in the first instance as an offender of conviction, that is, as a person who wanted to be exempted from the mask obligation only or mainly because she rejected the Corona policy, and to charge her 80 daily sentences of 15 euros each? If not, why not? Ms Gadé's certificate was issued on the 21st of June 2021. Is there well-founded evidence that Ms Gadé was already critical of the Corona policy before this time and had a mask exemption certificate issued only or mainly because of this? And even if Ms Gadé was already Corona critical before the 21st of June 2021, to what extent can someone be legally charged with an attitude when it comes to issuing a mask certificate or a medical certificate at all? I was told that the public prosecutor in the first instance refused to reveal her name even when asked by the defendant and her counsel. Why? Please let me know when I can accept your answers. Kind regards, Torsten Engelbrecht. I have to change the penultimate question as follows. And even if Ms Gadé was already Corona critical before the 21st of June 2021, to what extent can someone be legally charged with an attitude when it comes to issuing a mask certificate when, see above, according to the Senate, the responsibility for a certificate lies in the hands of the doctors, and see above is scientifically soundly documented that wearing a mask is potentially harmful for everyone? And in the case of someone like Ms Gadé, there's also the fact that she is medically proven to suffer from severe asthma, and therefore, it should be easily recognizable even for laypersons. It's even better not to wear a mask that hinders breathing. Thank you and best regards, Torsten Engelbrecht. I would also like to ask you the following question. How many mask proceedings are the public prosecutor's office in Hamburg still pursuing against doctors on the one hand and against patients on the other? Kind regards, Torsten Engelbrecht.